I've been doing some research on this. As far as I know, this hasn't been released anywhere and it hasn't aired anywhere. So I'm basically doing this because I want to review this movie and I hope that in some way this review can help the movie be released in some way. This is actually a pilot for a TV series, but it was screened as a 2-hour movie at the BET Experience Film Festival back at the end of June of this year. It's called Gun Hill. It stars Larenz Tate, and after the screening of this movie, the cast and the director were there to do some Q&A. I got to speak to Larenz Tate briefly, and I got to speak to the other stars and the director briefly, so here we go. This story, what's it about? Well, we start out with Larenz Tate playing twin brothers. One twin looks like Larenz, the other twin doesn't look like Larenz, but they're both played by Larenz. And the twin brother who does look like Larenz is working for the law, while the other twin works in the dirty life. So these guys are on opposite sides of the law. But when the detective brother gets killed, the dirty brother has to find a way now to, bury his body, and in the process, he decides to take his identity, and now he's learning to live both lives, the life of his detective brother and the life of himself in the dirty life. Some people know that he's doing this, and other people are falling for it. This leads to him getting a lot of, detective missions, going undercover, even stopping his own gang that he's worked with in the past, which leads to a lot of trouble between his friends in the wrong places and the friends that his twin brother had, and it leads to a lot of trouble with family and with relationships too. This movie has some cheesy 80s TV show elements going for it. In some cases it works, in some cases it doesn't work. But it also has this fast-paced, really cool, unique storytelling going for it. I mean, the story is pretty solid, but I mean, the storytelling is very unique. It's very fresh, and the writer-director brings a lot of flair to it, as well as the cinematographer. The cinematography is and the choreography to it, like that. It also adds a lot of flair and flavor to the film. And in preparation for this role, Larenz Tate learned a new fighting style called 52 blocks, and this fighting style is especially noticeable at the end. I can't go on talking all about Larenz Tate in this movie because I've got to acknowledge the other stars in it too, and because back at the Q&A session, there were a lot of questions, and the first 4 were for Larenz Tate. I originally had a question for him too, but someone else had asked a question too similar to mine, and that's when the director said, Larenz Tate is done. We got other stars here. Ask me or them some questions. So let's talk about who else was in the movie. Michael Aranov. I don't think he's a big Hollywood name. No, he's not. But he's really good in it as somebody who's on the counter crime force, who knows Larenz, and now and it leads to some trouble between him and Larenz as well. And actress Shanti Ashanti, you haven't heard her name because this is her debut. She wasn't in anything big before this. I hope that with this movie, if it gets released sometime, that she will gain some attention as well, and I hope that she can rise up as a star because she's really good in this too. So in the end, the writer-director Reggie Rock Blythewood, he states that he wants to get this picked up for a TV series, whether it's a series on BET or a series on another channel or a series on a VOD platform. I hope it gets picked up, and I hope it finds an audience. I think I can honestly see people tuning into this TV series every week, tuning into Larenz Tate playing a dual persona in dual roles. I can see it happening because I really like Larenz Tate myself. I think he's a very overlooked star. If it doesn't get picked up for a TV series, I hope that it can find distribution as a movie. Because as a movie it works. I think and again I can see an audience seeing this. I can see this movie finding an audience pretty quickly. With Larenz Tate, and the fighting style, and him in this dual persona kind of role, and shot in this gritty city. I can see it definitely happening. So I would say go out and see it. I recommend it, but then again, how can you see it right now? I mean, it's not available anywhere for viewing. And that's why I'm doing this review, because I hope that this review can in some way help this movie get seen whenever it gets released. So that's my take on Gun Hill, and I hope that you will be able to see it soon.